Hey there, I'm Melanie and I'm your Design Journey art class expert for watercolor pencils and colored pencils. Our topic today is watercolor pencils and regular colored pencils. I'm going to show you the differences of both of those mediums and the advantages of both of them. We're going to create a magical flower forest, and I'm sure you can recreate this piece super easily. Also, this would make an awesome gift card for someone you love. In this session, you need watercolor pencils. I'm using the Staedtler 24 pack of watercolor pencils here. You will also need regular colored pencils. I have the 72 set here. You just need a few colors of permanent colored pencils. You will also need brushes. I'm using the synthetic brush set here. I'm mostly going to use this size 8 brush here. You're also going to need water, obviously, and some paper. You're going to need watercolor paper. Just make sure that it can handle water, and I'm also using paper that doesn't have a lot of texture, but you can use any kind of watercolor paper that you have. So we're going to start out with some watercolor pencils, and you can just pick any kinds of colors that you like. I really like this green tone, so I'm going to start with that one. So I'm just starting out with some very basic shapes. I'm trying not to push down too hard because we want to blend this later. And so I'm just doing these ovals, and you can spread them around on the entire page. And make sure that you use watercolor pencils for this step. I'm also gonna pick this pink tone because I really like that one as well. And I'm gonna do these tiny little circles here. And keep in mind that once we blend the circles, they will become a little bit bigger. So don't make them too big. Those are going to be our flowers later on. And another one over here. Now I'm gonna pick this turquoise tone and just do these little leaf shapes. They're super simple as well. I'm also gonna blend in a little bit of green just because I feel like it. And I'm gonna use this yellow tone for some little simple flowers. You're gonna all have these ovals, and always 3 of those. So here are 3 ovals and another 3, like that. And I'm just spreading everything out on the page and just filling the page. I'm making more leaf shapes here. Those are going to be our little plants. This is very basic, just the basic shapes. And we're just trying to fill the page at this point. So don't really worry about anything. Just spread everything around like that. So now that I'm happy with that, I'm also going to do little bushes at the bottom. I would like to have a little bit more pink. I think I'm gonna do little rocks like this. Just very simple shapes. Those could also be flowers or whatever it is. It's just here on the floor, and it's purple in this case, or this magenta tone that I've picked up. And then I'm going to do those bigger bushes It's the same shape here as well. I'm being very messy here. You don't have to worry about it as much at this point. We're just really messily coloring in the basic shapes, and then later on we're gonna blend all of this together so it will look really cute. Now that I'm happy with the overall layout and now that it's spread pretty evenly, we can move on to the next step. I have now picked out a few colors of regular colored pencils. Those are permanent when you go over them with water. So I'm gonna use those for extra details and veins that I don't want to blend into everything else. So now that I've finished everything with the watercolor pencils, I'm going to use the regular colored pencils, and I'm just adding in veins, stems, everything along those lines. So I'm starting with the dark blue over here, and I'm just starting to add the stem and the middle parts here, and just a few veins so that it's gonna look a little bit more interesting. And I'm also gonna use this darker green tone and doing the same thing here with those. And you get the idea. I'm just doing all of those little details, and later on when I blend everything, those will stay and those will be permanent. I'm also adding in a little bit of grass that's gonna stay permanent here. Gonna do that with the different colors that I'm gonna use for the veins, so just that it looks like everything's going nicely together. And I'm gonna do that all over the page now. So now I'm also adding in a few more lines to make more grass that's gonna be blended just over here where there are no rocks. So we can blend that a little bit and have a little bit of color here as well. And now I'm done with all of this and done with the details. You can see where I'm at currently. So the basic layout is done now, and now I'm gonna blend everything with the water. I'm using the size 8 brush and I'm just blending everything, and we will see that all the permanent colored lines will stay intact and all the watercolor pencil lines will be blended now. So I'm also blending our little bushes here, and I'm going from right to left because I'm left-handed, and if you're right-handed I recommend going in the other direction just so you don't smudge it when it's still wet, and we can really avoid that by going in the right direction. And so I'm just blending every single thing here. So now you can see that I'm done blending everything, and this is what it looks like now. And I'm honestly pretty happy with it so far. I'm just gonna let this fully dry and then add in just a few more details. So now that this is all dry, I'm just adding in a few tiny little more details, but you could just stop here. I'm just adding in a little fly here. This could be whatever, a fly or a butterfly. It's just very simple. And another one here. I just think that this makes it come alive. And I'm also adding in just a few more of those veins just because I feel like you could use it, but you could just stop here if you wanted to. I'm just going over everything again a little bit. That makes it look a little bit more interesting, like this. And I also want to add these little details to our bushes here so we can really tell that these are plants as well. And I think that's it. Now we're done. This is our finished painting for this session. Honestly, the biggest challenge in this session is to not confuse the watercolor pencils with the regular colored pencils because they look kind of similar. But don't worry, because the watercolor pencils, they have this little brush symbol here. So if you're not sure which one is which, just check if there's this little symbol. And if there is, then you have the watercolor pencil. This is a very simple piece where you can just play around with shapes and colors and everything, and you don't really have to overthink it. You don't have to do all the details right away because you can always go back and add in more, and you can experiment a little bit with the different mediums, with the colored pencils that are not able to be blended, those are permanent, and with the watercolor pencils. And you can use both of those to their advantage. And I think that this is a really fun piece that you can do. I really loved using the Staedtler watercolor pencils for this because they're so vibrant. They have these fun colors, and I also loved the colored pencils because those are permanent, like we've elaborated. And I just think that it's a super fun exercise to get to know the differences between those two. And I also really recommend using the size 8 brush because it holds a good amount of water and you can get a very fine tip with that one. And yeah, this is really fun. It's super fun and very simple to create your own little world. So just grab your favorite colors and go ahead and create your own little scenery. If you need more inspiration, just take a walk in nature and you'll find a lot of animals and plants that you could add to your own little scenery. We'd love to see your results. Share them on Instagram using the hashtag #MyDesignJourney. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this Design Journey art class.